Let me get started with the problem solving part, right? So, all right. Now, let us understand this question. First of all, um, you can see they have said, if I read the second part of the statement, they said that C gets half of what A and B gets, which means if A and B together get 2, then C will get 1, which implies A, B, C together will get 1 plus 2, which is 3. In the sum in the beginning, they have said this 3 is equivalent to 3000, right? So if 3 is equivalent to 3000, then this 1 will be equivalent to 1000, correct? So your answer to this question will be 1000. Okay, so your answer to this question will be 1000. Right, guys? Chalo, very good. So let us move on with the next one. First of all, let us understand the question. Uh, the data says Arun, Barun, and Kiran, their speeds are 30 kilometer per hour, 40 kilometers per hour, and 60 kilometers per hour. And by reading the question, everybody should make out that the distance traveled by them is same. That is the distance between the starting point and the meeting point. That distance is same for everyone. What if I take that distance to be the LCM, which is 120 kilometers? That is the LCM of these three numbers. Then we get to understand that Arun must have taken 4 hours to cover that distance, that is 120 by 30. Barun must have taken 3 hours, and Kiran must have taken 2 hours to cover the same distance, right? So if you read the question carefully, you will realize Barun starts 2 hours after Arun. And in the question, they are asking how many hours after Arun did Kiran start. So what I get here, the gap between Arun and Barun, we get that as 1, and that 1 is being referred to as 2 hours, if you notice carefully. Now look at the gap between Arun and Kiran. The gap between Arun and Kiran is 2 hours, right? So if 1 corresponds to 2 hours, then 2 will correspond to 4 hours, which is why your answer to this question will be 4 hours. So I'll quickly repeat what I said. I said that the distance between the starting point and the meeting point of all these three friends is same. That distance I am taking as the LCM of the respective speeds, which is why the corresponding time taken will be 4 hours, 3 hours, and 2 hours, respectively. Now the gap between Arun and Barun is 1 as per this calculation, and the gap between Arun and Kiran is 2 as per my calculation. But in reality, they have said the gap between Arun and Barun is 2 hours. So what I have 1 corresponds to 2 hours. Hence, what I have as 2 will correspond to 4 hours, which is why your answer to this question will be 4 hours. So let me see. I got many answers. Definitely, Arijit, it is 4. Shayantan, okay, definitely. Devjit, yes, it is 4 hours, of course. Okay. So I hope the explanation was clear. So you do not have to apply any concept of relative speed or finding the distance. So that will make the process lengthy. There is no need to apply any formula also, right? So let me take you to the next one. Please try this question. and share your answer in the chat box, please. Imagine if I want to understand this diagrammatically, imagine if this is the pass mark. One person A gets 36% and he gets 20 marks more than the pass mark, while the other person B who gets 30% and he gets 10 marks less than the pass mark, that means he fails by 10 marks. If you look at these numbers, you will clearly make out the gap between them is 30 marks. Also, if you look at the percentage values, it corresponds to 6%. See, this 30% is equivalent to 6%. Then what about 10 marks? I repeat, if 30 marks is equivalent to 6%, then what about 10 marks? It will be, of course, 2%, right? You can do it by unitary method. Now see, you understand B's mark is 30% and this gap is about 2%, which means the pass mark will be 30 plus 2, that is 32%. I'll repeat once again. I understood the difference between their scores is plus 20 and minus 10, which is 30 marks. In terms of percentage values, their gap is 6%. Now I also understand that 30 marks is equivalent to 6%, so 10 marks will be equivalent to 2%. Since this is 10 marks, I can always say this corresponds to 2%. Knowing that B's value is 30%, this gap is 2%, definitely the pass mark will be 32%. So that is your answer. Please try this question meanwhile. See, whenever the statements are complicated, my suggestion is please try to make a table so that it looks simple. So on one side, they're talking about present, and on the other side, they're talking about past. While over here, they're talking about two persons, Ajay and Kajol. So if you understand the first part of Ajay's statement, I am twice as old as you were, which means Ajay's present age is twice that of Kajol's past age. So assuming that Kajol's past age is X, I can say Ajay's present age is 2X. Right? So Akash, Homodeep and Onik has given answer. So just hold on for a couple of minutes. So this is coming clear from the first part of Ajay's statement. Now, if I read Kajol's statement on the one side, they have said 5 years back, the sum of their ages was 46. So during last 5 years, each of them have become 5 years older. So the sum of the ages must have increased by 10 years. Hence, the current sum of ages must be 56. So can I say that Kajol's present age will be 56 minus 2x? Because Ajay's present age is 2x and the sum of present ages must be 56. Now read the second part of Ajay's statement where he said, when I was as old as you are, which means Kajol's present age was same as Ajay's past age. Now see, after this point, you can apply common sense by saying the age difference between any two individuals do not change with time. Their age differences will remain same, which means if you look at these two individuals, the present age difference is 56, 2x minus 56 minus 2x. And in the past, the age difference was 56 minus 2x minus x. So these two are same. So what do you think will be the value of x? If you solve this, the value of x will be 16. They're asking what is Ajay's present age, which is 2x. So your answer will be 32 years. Right, guys? So your answer to this question will be 32 years. Right, guys? So this is how you should handle these kind of questions. So let me take you to the next one now. First of all, understand and remember, whenever you want to compare indices, you need to compare either through the power or through the base, right? You should compare either through the power or through the base. Now, if you look here, what they are saying, if you see 17 to the power 9, looks at 17 to the power 9 on one side and 31 to the power 7 on the other side, I can say that 17 to the power 9 is more than 16 to the power 9, right? On the other side, if you look at 31 to the power 7, that happens to be less than 32 to the power 7. After this point, you can easily make out that 16 can be written as 2 to the power 4 and 32 can be written as 2 to the power 5, which essentially means by the rule of the indices, these powers will get multiplied. Hence, 17 to the power 9 is more than 2 to the power 36. On the other side, you see 31 power 7 is less than 2 to the power 35. And out of these two, you know which one is greater, right? So you can clearly make out that your answer is there because you have a complete order sequence among these numbers, right? So among these numbers, 17 to the power 9 is the largest. Hence, your answer to this question will be 17 to the power 9. I hope that was clear. So a lot of people answered 31 to the power 7. For all those people, do not consider only the base value. Please consider the power also. So for indices, the basic rule says either you compare through the power or you compare through the base, right? Thank you. Thank you, guys. So let me proceed with the next question. Right. See, first of all, if you look at the sum, it is actually very simple. You see, you are using all the digits starting from 1 to 9, right? We are using all the digits out here. So what do you think? See, the digits can be shuffled in one number in place of, so 4 can go here, 9 can come here. So that shuffling will happen across different numbers. But tell me, what will be the sum of the digits? What will be the sum of the digits? It will be 1 plus 2 plus 3 up to 9, right? Which will be 45. N into n plus 1 by 2. So remember the divisibility rule for 9. It says if the sum of the digit is a multiple of 9, then the entire number will be multiple of 9. So since 45 is divisible by 9, can we not say that the number is always divisible by 9, wherever the digits are? So if the number is divisible by 9, it is definitely a composite number, right? Which means none of such numbers are prime numbers. So your answer will be 0. Very good. So let me take you to the next question. Please try this and share your answer in the chat box. So there are two things, one is if I take down the data properly, once I take the data, I will make out that, see, in time and work, you apply either LCM or ratio or variations, this kind of techniques. So if you look at the problem here, first of all, they have said, if you look at the values, they have mentioned that there are 4 people, their time taken has been given. So I have A, B, C, and D, and they are saying their time taken is 4 days, 8 days, 16 days, and 32 days respectively. So one of the easiest thing that you can do in time and work is to take the total work as the LCM of all these numbers, which is 32 units. So if the LCM is 32 units, tell me what will be their efficiencies. or the rate of work. Their rate of work will be 8, 4, 2 and 1, isn't it? So 32 by 4, 32 by 8, 32 by 16 and 32 by 32. Always remember guys, efficiencies can be added, but time cannot be added. You can add the rates of work, but you cannot add the time. The other important thing that is very, very useful for you to solve this sum is a common sense, in fact, that is time and efficiency are inversely proportional. Now let us look at this question. They want you to have two groups, G1 and G2, in such a way that the time taken should be in the ratio 2:3. Why? Because they have said the first group should take 2/3 of the time taken by the second group. Read the question, you will realize they have said the time taken of one pair is 2/3 of the second pair. There is a typo. I'm so sorry, I didn't notice. So it will be work. Okay, thank you. So now see, if the time taken is 2/3 and I know time and efficiencies are inversely proportional, can we not say that the efficiencies will be in the ratio 3:2? It is just the reverse. No, time and efficiencies are inversely proportional. Now remember, sometime back I told you time cannot be added, but efficiencies can be added. Now see, the combined efficiencies of A and D is 8 plus 1, which is 9. While if you look at the combined efficiencies of B and C, that is 6. And 9 and 6 indeed maintains the ratio 3:2. Which means the first group will have its member as A and D, while the second group will have its member as B and C, which is why your answer to this question will be AD. Right, guys? So your answer to this question will be AD. Yes? All right. Okay. Okay. Thank you. Cool. So we'll move to the next one. In fact, a very similar question. You know, time and work, time and distance, these chapters have a lot of commonality. You can apply ratio variations because these are pure arithmetic, and you can also apply the concepts of LCM. So this is going to be another example which I think everyone should answer. Pretty easy question to answer. Please try this out. Pretty simple question. Please try this. In fact, you know, I always felt while studying physics that whether it is time and distance or time and work, if I draw the diagram, it becomes very, very simple. It looks very, very simple. So on one side, they have said 10 kilometer per hour. On the other side, they're talking about 15 kilometers per hour, right? On one side, they have said he reaches 11 a.m., reaches at 11 a.m. On the other side, he's reaching at, oh, I'm so sorry, I did the other way around. So it will be the other way around. Okay. So the first one, he reaches at 1 p.m. Second case, he reaches early. Of course, he has increased speed, so he will reach early. So in this process, if you have noticed, he is saving 2 hours, right? Now see, guys, the very simple thing that you can do again is to consider the LCM of these numbers as the distance. Now, what is the LCM of these two numbers? Definitely the LCM is 30 kilometers, right? If that is so, how much time he is taking in the first case? 30 by 10, that is 3 hours. In the second case, 30 by 15, that is 2 hours. So the gap is 1 hour. But as per our calculation or the actual numbers given in the sum, this is 2 hours, which means the actual distance, since this is getting multiplied by 2, the actual distance should also get multiplied by 2, which means the distance between these 2 points is 60 kilometers, right? Not only that, we also understand this first journey was for 6 hours, right? 60 by 10, that is. So if you back calculate from 1 p.m., he must have started at 7 o'clock in the morning, because after elapsing 6 hours, he's reaching at 1 p.m. So if he starts at 7 o'clock in the morning, and he wants to reach at noon, which is 12, he will have 5 hours in his hand. So for covering a distance of 60 kilometers, having 5 hours in hand, what should be his speed? Yes, many of you got it correct. It will be 12 kilometers per hour. So let me take you to the next one. Let me see. Right, guys. See, first of all, one should understand in case of situations like this, framing a table could be a better option, you know, especially when you have the initial situation and the final situation. For example, you start somewhere, you start by assuming the earlier cost as 100. That's a very safe assumption. Now they have said you have reduced it by 10%, so it has become 90. Now, if you read the question, they have said in the second case, the profit is 10%. So 10% profit on 90 rupees. Always remember, I told you in the class earlier also, when I went to the college, I told you that 10%, the profitability is always based on cost price, right? So it is 10% of 90, which means there is a 9 rupees profit, which means the sales price must have been 99. They have also said that the earlier sales price was hiked up by 10% to achieve this. But we know that 90 is hiked up by 10% to achieve 99. So this must be 90 as well, because it is becoming 99 after 10% increase. So we get to understand earlier the cost was 100 and sales price was 90. So definitely there was a 10% loss. Of course, full credit to all of you who gave the answer as option 4, right? So your answer will be indeed 10% loss. Very good. Another easy question. Again, comparison of indices. I discussed one such question in the beginning of the class. So please try this. All right. So many people think it is 2 to the power 1 by 2. So let me see how to proceed. If you recall some time back, as I told you guys, in case of, indices, what makes sense is to either compare through the base or compare through the power. So over here, if you notice the numbers which are given, you should focus on the denominators of the fractions which are being used as powers, and consider the LCM of those numbers, which of course is 12. So I'm talking about LCM of 2, 3, 4, 6, and 12. That is 12 itself. So I can write this number as 2 to the power 6 whole to the power 1 upon 12. I can write this as 3 to the power 4 whole to the power 1 upon 12. I can write this as 4 cube whole to the power 1 upon 12. I can write this as 6 square to the power 1 by 12. And this is of course 12 to the power 1 by 12. Now what is 2 to the power 6? It is 64, right? What about 3 to the power 4? That's 81. 4 cube, 64. 6 square, 36. And of course, you have 12 at the last. So, out of all these numbers, 81 is the highest, which is why your answer will be 3 to the power 1 by 3. Right, guys? So, your answer will be 3 to the power 1 by 3. I hope that was clear to all of you. So your answer to this question will be 3 to the power 1 by 3. All right, very good. So let me take you through the next question now. All right, guys, so let me discuss. First of all, I would like to see the mixture having 1/4 liter of water with every liter of milk. So of course the final solution will be 5 by 4, right? Which is 1 plus 1 by 4. Yes. Now after this, if you see, I want to convert everything into convenient values. So I'm multiplying everything by 4. So I'm saying as if with every 4 liters is mixing 1 liter of water to get 5 liter of the solution. Now as per the data given, milk is being bought at the rate of 8 rupees, which means he's spending 32 rupees, that is his cost. Water you get from corporation, so it's free. And then he's selling it at 10 rupees per liter, which means his revenue is 50 rupees, or you can say that's his sales price. So his profit in this process is 18 rupees and his cost is 32. And how much is that? So you can always express this as 8 plus 1 by 16. You see 8 by 16 is half, which is 50%. 1 by 16 is 6.25%. So if you add these two, you will get your answer as 56.25%. Right, guys? So your answer to this question will be 56.25%. So I hope that was pretty clear to all of you.